Hello, it's design time. I've really missed talking about my design process, so this week I've decided I'm going to do 2 videos.
Welcome to the very first episode of Not My Idea.
So this one here is going to focus on my design process, and my regular Thursday video will have the full pattern in it for anyone who wants to create their very own Loch Ness Monster. You can let me know that you are interested in this type of video by hitting the like button down below, but otherwise let's get into it. Right, so step 1 is the idea.
How it went down is I picked 5 of the potential ideas out of a bucket and I chucked them up on a YouTube poll. Now the 5 that got pulled were Spring Fairy, Chinese Dragon, Sloth, Rhino, and Loch Ness Monster. Don't forget to leave your requests for future Not My Idea episodes in the comments below so that I add them to the list and there's a chance that they will come out of the bucket. So the 4 options not picked today will be going back in the bucket to come out again later, so don't be disappointed if the one that you voted for wasn't the one that won. Now, about 130 of you voted within the time frame, and Loch Ness Monster won with, I think it was 38% of the vote, but the actual numbers will be on the screen here. So Loch Ness Monster was the winner.
Step 2, what is the Loch Ness Monster?
Right, so the first thing that I did when coming up with my Nessie design was I did a little bit of research into what Nessie looks like. Now, because we're starting this off with a cryptid, it's a little bit trickier because there isn't necessarily one agreed upon thing. I always remembered it being more like a serpent creature with like the coils coming out of the water. But I know that other theories are it's a giant eel or that it's a plesiosaur. So I went and I did a little bit of research online just to see what is widely considered correct.
So at first I thought it might be funny to do 3 separate pieces so you could have a Nessie swimming on any surface you liked. But I didn't want anyone to think that I cheated. So I eventually decided to go with the plesiosaur angle, which is cool because I think it will be able to hang out with all the dinosaurs that I'm planning for the end of June.
So that's the direction I ended up going with.
All right, so step 3, I broke my design down into pieces. So basically I split my initial sketch down into different parts. So I separated out a head and a neck, a tail, kind of a body portion, and then 4 flippers. When looking at how to approach each piece, I try to picture the lines of symmetry. It helps me work out where to start and how to build each of the rows up. So I looked at the pieces that I'd broken the design down into, and I realized that there was no obvious reason why they had to be separate pieces. So it was at this point in the project that I realized I was planning to do a no-sew pattern. So step 4, make the pieces. So breaking it down into slices, I would make the flippers as separate pieces and then join them onto a flat base that would make up the belly. From there, I would only have to split the one piece into 3 distinct rounds. A simple idea that I was pretty sure I could accomplish with chains. The back came together really easily. It was just a series of basic rounds to close it off. And the neck was fine too. It was just a tube. For the head, I really wanted to build out an under chin, but also have it defined as an upper and lower jaw. So I used a series of short rows to work up another like base plate, not dissimilar to the belly piece, but this time I attached it to the edge of the neck. I then used front post and back post to add definition, which ended up working almost better than I expected. I did have to frog a couple of times to get it right though. The nostrils were actually just a modified decrease that included a short chain in the middle. And I'm so surprised that it worked, but I'm gonna have to remember it next time I'm doing something like this. I reckon it could have made Chonk a lot easier. I wouldn't have had to bother with top stitching if I'd worked it out earlier. And the rest of the head was just a little bulb. The tail was made easier using this construction method because I could start at the wide end and work towards the narrower end, where if it was a separate piece, I would have had to start at the other end, which never looks as nice. And in the end, she came together without the use of a single pin or needle, which I actually think is really cool.
Don't even have pins or needles out on my desk right now.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mini design episode. I probably can't promise 2 videos every week, but I'm going to start doing these whenever I get the chance to show you guys my process. Let me know in the comments if that sounds okay to you. Okay, I'll see you on Thursday.